Okay, today I'm going to do a demonstration on how to make a pinch pot monster. We just looked at the video of James DeRosso, whose monster work inspired this project. So I'm going to show you how we're going to start. We're going to start by making a pinch pot. Now most of you have made a pinch pot before, but I'm going to do a quick demonstration how we get started. I'm going to take my clay and I'm going to roll it into a ball. If it's not perfect, that's going to be okay. You can roll it on the desk or you can roll it in your hands. I just prefer in my hands. Once I have a ball, I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to stick it into the clay. Now you don't want to go all the way through, but if you do go all the way through, it's very simple to correct that mistake. All you have to do is roll it back into a ball and start again. You want to push your thumb down almost all the way. You should have a deep hole that looks like this. Then I'm going to take my pincher fingers and I'm going to stick my thumb all the way to the bottom and I'm going to start pinching in a slow circular motion. I'm going to pinch and I'm going to twist, pinch and move the pot. When your clay gets a little bigger, you could even stick 2 thumbs in it. Okay, once you end up with a clay bowl that looks like this, we are then going to turn it. Now, when I turn it, it's going to suddenly go from a pot to a monster mouth. So here's my pot, but if I turn it like this and I pinch the sides a little bit, I get a pretty cool monster mouth. Now, what I want to add to make this look more like a monster are eyes, horns, maybe some scary teeth, maybe even a tongue. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take some clay, and to make my eyes, I'm going to actually roll 2 circles. And this is probably the most important part, and it's called scoring. And what you want to do is you want to make the clay monster, this part, the area rough where you want to put the eye on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a tic-tac-toe board where I want to stick the eye, and then on the back of my eye I'm going to do the same thing. So I have a tic-tac-toe board here and a tic-tac-toe board on the back of my eye. I'm then going to put a drop of water on both sides and twist it together. A little extra water on my hands. I'm just smoothing some of the rougher areas. Now my eye is now stuck on there, and you can kind of wiggle it and you can see that it doesn't come off. And you want to make sure you do this for everything you stick on there. I just stuck my my wooden clay tool into the center and I just twisted it, and it makes a pretty cool circle. Now I want my monster to have another eye, but I want this one to be a little bit bigger. So again, I'm going to take my clay, roll it into a ball, flatten it a little bit. I'm going to put a tic-tac-toe board or a hashtag sign on where I want to put the eye. I'm also going to put it on the back of the eyeball. I'm going to add a drop of water, and then I'm going to twist it together. Now by doing this, you're making both surfaces rough, so it's almost like gluing it on. So that way when they're fired in the kiln, it won't fall off. Okay, so now I have a big eye and a smaller eye. Now the same thing goes with the teeth or any horns or anything else that you can think of, even like a crazy tail. I'd like my clay monster to hold something, so I'm going to leave the mouth open and I might stick some candy in there or something on my desk. I think my monster needs a horn, so I'm going to grab a couple crazy horns. And to make a horn, I'm kind of going to roll it into a snake first, or like a fat hot dog. I'm going to pinch the top, and I'm going to flatten the bottom. Now my clay is a little bit dry. You can kind of see it looks like elephant skin. So if your clay looks like that and starts to get dry from being overworked, you can just rub some water on it. You want to be careful not to rub too much water because it breaks down the clay. Okay, so now I like this horn. But I can't just stick it on because when my clay dries, it could fall off. So I'm going to put the number sign on the bottom. I'm going to put the number sign on my clay. I'm going to stick some water on it and stick some water on it. I'm going to twist it on. Okay. And you can continue adding as many things as you want to your monster. Another thing you want to think about is surface enrichment, which means some kind of texture to the top of your monster. So I found that if I poke my clay tool in there, it makes almost like a little dash, but I like to think about it as almost monster spots. And that's a simple way to add a little detail to your work. And I see I'm a little dry up here, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water. And also I'm going to kind of smooth out where I stuck all my things on because I don't want to have there to be a seam there. Okay. And now I'm going to add one tooth. And to add a tooth, I'm simply going to take a piece of clay and I'm just going to pinch it a little bit between my fingers and flatten it on top. Then I'm going to flatten on the bottom, because this flat part is going to sit in its mouth. So just like I did with the eyes and the horn, I'm going to put a tic-tac-toe board on the bottom and a tic-tac-toe board down here. I'm going to get both sides wet with just a little bit of water.